Welcome back. Tired of feeling out of shape and depressed and just sitting around the house all day? Well, there's a new gym in town that wants to give you a lifestyle makeover. Here's Pete Ware, the president of NRG Fitness. Pete, welcome aboard. Good to have you here, man.
You too. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, so we're going to talk about some really cool stuff. You have some really fun stuff going on locally here. And we're going to start with NRG Fitness. Tell us what it is.
Basically, it's a company I started 10 years ago. I was working in different gyms locally, basically paying a rent, and I had to accrue enough money to open my own facility. And over the years' time, I've been doing this now 15 years today, but over a year's time, I took a little bit of knowledge from each person, each trainer, each mentor I worked with, and I started creating my own modalities as far as how I view fitness. So basically, I wanted to create a high-energy place, okay, to train high volumes of people, which we train 4 people every half hour throughout the entire day, safely and effectively. And I want to incorporate music because I'm a high-energy guy. You know, I DJ on the side. So basically, the whole gym is geared around music and fitness with a biomechanics component.
So when you say you're at these other gyms, what is it particularly about them that wasn't working? I mean, I'm guessing there wasn't enough energy is just kind of what I'm guessing, but is that kind of what it was?
It was horrible. You walk in and want to fall asleep, white walls. There was not that ambiance, that South Beach vibe, that Paris funk. You know, you go to different cities in the world and you feel the energy of the city. And that's essentially what I want. I want people to walk in who are having a dull day. They've been sitting at their desk for 10 hours a day, and we're going to plug them right into the energy network.
Right, because for a lot of people, you know, even for me sometimes, working out is kind of a chore. It's kind of like, I gotta do it. I don't want to do it. I'd rather be doing anything else but it. So I'm guessing your theory there is, your modality is, let's make it fun. Let's make you want to do it because you'll get better results out of it.
Hands down.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, people, every time I get a new member, it's like, I'm so scared to do this, Peter. I'm so scared. Listen, just go and enjoy yourself. Before you know it, the 30 minutes is up, and it's a 30-minute session. And because it's multi-joint, basically we're training the entire body, you know, movement, functionality, you're taxing the body. So you get a great workout in 30 minutes, but 30 minutes is only 30 minutes. It flies by.
So give me some specifics. Let's dive into the specifics of what sets your gym apart from the other ones.
The music, the energy. We do about 500 exercises a year. We have lower back protocols because a lot of what we do is based on corporate wellness. People are sitting at their desks all day, slouched over. We want to open the bodies. We can train anyone from a 16-year-old to an 80-year-old to an NFL football player. It's a very diverse, you know, program.
What kind of music are we talking about?
House, hip hop, rock. I push more towards the house only because of the BPMs. You know, a faster BPM is going to stimulate your mind mentally.
Right.
Slower BPMs are going to slow you down, and we're there to motivate and speed up.
Because I like to work out to a medley of Barbra Streisand and Frank Sinatra. Is that not good?
And a little Andrew Bocelli.
Or just I like to chill as I do my deadlifts.
Okay.
No. but do people ever come in and they're like, I'd like to hear soft jazz or something?
I've had a few. And they didn't last long. No, just kidding.
Right.
Well, we try to. Here's the thing: you got to open your mind. You're going to exercise. You want to feel better about yourself. It's a lifestyle modification. You got to be open to new things. Obviously, what you were doing in your life wasn't working.
Yeah.
So,
is there one class that's kind of like your calling card? One reason that you stand out over others?
The whole system in itself. But I will tell you this: the energy way, what I created, is the boot camp every Saturday on the beach, the spinning class, and the training 2 to 3 times a week, depending on what package you pick. If you do all 3 components and listen to us as far as the nutrition, eating every 3 hours, you're money, you're golden. But you know, the biggest thing is consistency. People fall off after 2 or 3 months. So if you can get over that hump, you know, your lifestyle will shift.
I'm actually glad you mentioned that. Do you have kind of an accountability program? In other words, so it's not just when you show up and you work out. Are you helping people monitor what they eat when they're not visiting you?
Basically, I created the NRG Way Rewards program. So for every training session, you get points. For every spinning class you come to, you get points. For every boot camp you come to, you get points. And we also teamed up with a website called fitday.com. So if you go to FitDay and you log in your food 5 days a week, at the end of the month we get a report. And if we see you did your due diligence, then we'll give you X amount of points. So you can actually get Whole Foods cards, gas cards, gifts cards in return for working out as much as you do.
And maybe as a reward, you can also pick the music the next time.
We'll
no.
think about
you're,
that.
You're
we'll
like,
about
no,
that. We'll
absolutely
think
not.
About that.
Because one of the things that you do personally is you also DJ, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so nobody touches your music, right? Like hands off, I got it.
2 of my trainers know how to DJ now, so they run the spin classes for me.
Yeah.
I taught them how, believe it or not.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's pretty neat. All right, you're kind of, you have so much going on. Yeah. Another thing we got to talk about is this corporate wellness endeavor that you're starting. It's really interesting. Tell us about it.
Well, I've been researching corporate wellness for about 5 years now, and I realized once companies go over 100 people, their claims and premiums are directly correlated. So doing full-blown incentivized programs will combat things like productivity, sick days, and literally lower your claims, and you can save a ton of money on the back end. It's newer in Florida. It's mainly a West Coast thing, a lot more progressive companies, but it's slowly growing here, so I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve on the East Coast.
Okay, so how are you making that happen? What are you doing?
Well, we just opened a facility at Humana Miramar. That's Humana headquarters. They have 1,000 people on site, and we're running a beta there. You know, Humana Louisville said, go ahead, plug in, see what you can do. And we're now, after 3 months, 70 members strong and growing, 3 to 5 members a week.
So how can you, what are the quantifiables? How do you measure it? Is it like, you know, do you check people's blood pressures a few months in? Do you see how many times they go to the doctor? Mm-hmm. How do you do that?
Well, with Humana, there's a lot of limitations because they're a Fortune 500 company. But generally, if, let's say you, hypothetically speaking, had over 100 people, we would go in day one with my business partner, Faze. He's a doctor. He does all the biometric screening. So we do a first, a middle, and a last, just to show the benefits of it. See, people don't realize that just being unhealthy goes so much further than what the eye can see. Lower back issues, et cetera, et cetera. You know, absent days, when people are sick, there's a number to that. There's a number to the average person who doesn't exercise, you know, weekly. So we look at all that in the big picture and say, hey, this is what you're losing, this is what your gains are with a productive wellness program. You know, it's,
right.
There's no comparison.
Do you have any quick tips for people who do work 8 hours a day sitting at a desk, you know, short of coming to see you and working out?
I get this question a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure you must. So what do you tell them?
Well, I can tell you this. I work with a lot of lawyers around here, law firms. They're very high-stress jobs. Just stand up every hour. Get out of your chair every hour for 5 minutes and just open the body up and then sit back down. Sit on a stability ball. But the number one thing, and I'll look right at the cameras.
Look at that one right
I'm going to look right at you, folks. I'm looking at you, all of you right now, all right? All you have to do is eat every 3 hours. You're speeding up the metabolic rate, the motor. Okay, you can either burn your motor like a Ferrari or you burn it like a little hybrid. Obviously, I don't want to say hybrid or Chevy. I don't want to knock anyone's cars, but you know, Ferraris
Chevy's our biggest sponsor, by the way.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Sorry about that.
I'm kidding.
So,
yeah. But you can't eat cheesecake every 3 hours. You gotta be.
I splurge on the weekends.
Okay.
I love red wine. Mm-hmm. I love scotch. But listen, I'm not doing it all the time. 90% of the time, I'm on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. All right. People want to get a hold of you. They want to find out more. How do they do it?
www.mynrgfitness.com. And you can email me at pj@nrgfitness.biz.
Right, and it's NRG, it's not energy.
Not ENERGY, it's
okay.
NRG.
NRG, yeah. And I'm going to stand up now and stretch.
Please.
And feed the motor. Yeah. Great to meet you, man.
You too. Thank you.
Continued best of luck.
Appreciate it.
All right. And Pete has 2 very important tips for you. Eat every 3 hours and make sure to work out 30 minutes a day, twice a week, and you'll definitely see results. Okay, when we come back, how to recognize and prevent blood clots. That and more as Inside South Florida comes back in just a few minutes.